Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. Welcome back to another video. My name is Craig Yeats and we have an episode of Coffee with Craig. I haven't made a video for the last little while because so much has been going on in my life and in South Africa. So I didn't want to speak to you until I could speak to you to inspire you with hope. So on this episode of Coffee with Craig, I'm going to speak to you about someone that's passionate about what they do, and they've been able to get through the tough times of many years in South Africa. They're an entrepreneur and they've just celebrated their 25th anniversary of their business as an entrepreneur in South Africa. They've been through it all. And I wanted to share this message with you because so many people don't have father figures, guides, mentors. So I thought the best person on this episode of Coffee with Craig would be a father. More importantly, my father. So welcome to this episode. If you haven't yet, smash that like button, enjoy this episode, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe because Coffee with Craig is about helping you, inspiring you, and motivating you to live the life of your dreams. So we're back with Coffee with Craig. That wasn't supposed to happen, but I guess that's life, and that's what this video is all about, dealing with adversity. So Des, if you want to hold that broken cup. So yesterday we actually came here to film, and it was pouring with rain, so we couldn't. And we had to deal with that, and today it's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, and we want to find out a little bit more about your story, of what you've been through living in South Africa for many years, and where did your passion for hockey actually come from?
Okay, I think that's a perfect metaphor. What happened yesterday, people think, oh, that's the end. We can't. And today we come and it's a new beautiful day.
Even with your breaking cups?
Even with breaking cups reminds me of how I got into hockey.
Okay.
As a young schoolboy playing rugby, I was told that was it. I messed up my knees and that was me out of sport.
So you got injured?
I got injured. I tore all the ligaments in my knees and that was it. And thank God it happened, because that's like the broken cup. It remains. Things happen, and what happened? I started playing hockey, and it was absolutely wonderful. From a young age, I was coaching. I was a player coach from the age of 21.
Okay, so you started out playing and you became a coach.
Yeah.
How did you get into the coaching side of things?
I've always loved leading people and coaching people. And I was captain of every cricket, rugby, and hockey side at school. And I just loved helping people, and I found when I was coaching, that's really where I got a greater joy actually out of coaching than playing.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. So you had a passion for hockey, and you've been involved with hockey forever, but maybe it was the people and helping people that got you involved with the coaching side of things.
Yeah, it was without any shadow of a doubt, and the joy that I've still had, and I've seen the people come through that have been through really tough times. And have persevered and have done brilliantly in hockey as a result of it. And the guys are still playing today. The guys that we used to hear about and moan and groan, and they're still practicing and they're still playing. We've even got a national over 70 side.
Okay. And you've been coaching the older guys as well? The masters, the grandpas, the grandmasters?
Coaching you at school, from playing in the same fathers and sons side here at this club.
So we played here?
We played here.
And that was probably, when we started playing, we played in a fathers and sons side. That was a coaching. How do you bring up younger kids and teach them to play club hockey?
And if you look at all those guys that played with us, they all ended up playing provincial hockey. And again, that was the joy that I got out of it, was helping the people. And I'm still doing it now with the old guys.
And then more so helping people, you did more than just coach. You then got involved with managing the SA hockey team?
Yeah, I managed the SA hockey team for a couple of years, and that was absolutely superb.
And how did you get involved with that?
It was the national coach saw what I was like from a business point of view, and he thought having somebody who understood business, and he saw what I was like with the people at work, and he saw how I led them and helped them, and he was looking for a manager that was more than just a manager. He needed to really be a mentor to the young guys.
And you were passionate and you helped people your whole life, and you ended up going to the pinnacle of sport. So the Olympics is on now at the moment in Tokyo.
And there I was in 2008, never ever believing that it was. But what it came from was a reward for what I had done to help people, and which I still do to this day. And as you said, coaching the grandfathers now, never mind playing with the sons, I'm coaching the grandfathers.
All right, so that's the sporting side of things.
Yep.
I want to chat a little bit more about entrepreneurship and succeeding in business in South Africa with everything.
Okay.
But let's go into the clubhouse.
Okay.
Hockey's been a big part of your life for many, many years.
Absolutely.
But your passion hasn't only lied in hockey and coaching hockey. It's been in business and coaching people.
Yeah.
But where does your story from a working point of view, where does it start?
Again, it's about having a dream and having a vision. But I wanted to be a medical rep. In those days, that was the creme de la creme. You could have your own company car and be a medical rep, and that's what I was going to be, and be in that industry for the rest of my life. Until one day, I got a phone call to come and have a discussion about career opportunities with Liberty Life. And I told them they were crazy, but what really appealed to me was it was an opportunity where I could really help people, because that's what the insurance industry is about. I'd always been passionate about insurance as well, and I had an opportunity of starting a branch from scratch.
And when was that? When did you start with Liberty?
1983.
Okay.
And got transferred to head office in 1990 to run most of the agency force in the country. Came back to Cape Town, blessed again, because to get out of adversity. What happened, somebody else's adversity, he really botched what was happening in Cape Town, and I had to come back, and it gave me greater opportunities, because here was an opportunity of being back in this beautiful part of the world once again. And more importantly, Liberty at that time were looking at starting a franchise division.
So when was that?
That was I was back here in 1991, and they spoke about it for a couple of years. And you know, what was so interesting, for so many years I'd heard people talking about you can't start a business in this climate. You know, South Africa's finished. I remember it as a sales manager still in the pharmaceutical industry, flying to Durban one day. We were flying through terrible thunderstorms, and I used to hate them. And I was sitting next to a politician, guy from the Progressive Party in those days, an older guy, probably a lot younger than me now. To me then he was an old guy. And he said to me, young man, just get used to it. Africa is a place of storms. Either weather the storm, because the storm does stop, or get out. And that's where I took the decision. I'm a South African, and Africa is not for sissies. Mm-hmm. And it's really been proven many times over.
So early 90s was an interesting time for South Africa. There was a lot of people that were trying to leave South Africa, go to Australia.
Absolutely.
And you decided in 1996 you were going to start a business.
Yeah.
Which was the opposite of what most people were thinking back then. What made you want to actually take on that risk of starting a business in 1996?
Well, first of all, I listened to the rubbish that people were saying. They were telling me that, you know, it's 3 rand to the dollar, so this country is finished.
3 rand to the dollar.
3 rand to the dollar.
And now it's almost 15 rand.
Yeah, and it could never exist. I had guys that I coached at hockey that I've seen in Australia that are accountants that can never afford to retire, because they can't even afford to send their children to a private school. They've got to go to a public school because this you don't get a better place to live. And to me, the best time you start is when there are opportunities. When are there opportunities?
During tough times, during a crisis.
Absolutely. No insurance company had a franchise division. So here, what did I see? I saw a challenge, I saw an opportunity, and I was blessed. I had the full support of my wife, who said, I'm probably more confident than you are about starting this, because what is the job about? It's about looking after people. And what do you care about most in life? Looking after people. And that's what I do. I love helping people, whether I was coaching hockey, because what do? I coach. I'm a coach on this earth. What do I do at work? I coach. What do I do relative to with you. It was coaching you to get to where you are today.
So tell me if, for a lot of young people, this is their first winter that they've been through, and it's been a long winter.
Yeah.
COVID's been around for 18 months,
Yeah.
and now we have looting, we've got riots, we've got a whole lot of things going on now. If you, I mean, you've lived a lot of life, you've been through market corrections, you've been through disasters, the business has now just turned 25.
Yeah.
For someone that's going through their first winter, that just doesn't want to stop, what advice can you give them to allow them some type of motivation, inspiration, hope?
Again, I'll give you a story. We have a situation where I had a relative very high up in the Defence Force and in the intelligence side of the Defence Force. And prior to 94, he told me that what you have to do is bury food because this country is finished. And if I were you with your young family, once you can't or you stay any longer, get out of this country. And I said to him, hang on, you might be in intelligence, but I've got intelligence. And my intelligence says there's a future because as long as you've got hope, you've got belief and you've got faith, and you'll be fine. And that was 1994. And what did I do in 1994? I went and bought another house. People thought I was crazy. We had a house in Johannesburg from when I worked at Liberty there. We came back, we lived in Durbanville. Would you remember? We lived there. And I bought a house in Rondebosch. You can't blame me for wanting to, that you can come to school at Rondebosch. And what do you think happens? The people don't pay the rent in Johannesburg. The people don't pay the rent in Durbanville. But all sorts of repairs. I'm saying, what do I do now? This is 1994, 1995. So what do I go and do? I go and start a business. People say, what happened? I said I managed to sell the houses. I knew it would happen. Because why? I had the faith, I had the belief. I had other people, all they would talk about is they want to run away. I've had that forever. Right at the early
So you don't think this is going to be the last time that people want to leave South Africa and think it's the end?
Never. I can tell you now, things happen in cycles. I've been through so many cycles, and you remember you and I at Vegas listening to Tony Robbins. He told us then that winter was coming, and people didn't believe. And what did he talk about? You've got to be prepared for winter. So you've got to be prepared all the time, because when adversity happens, it happens, and it's terrible when it's happening to you. But if you have the faith and you have the belief and the vision and the hope and you can see it, everything turns out fine. I've seen it.
This too shall pass.
You've heard me say that a million times. And this too shall pass. And this too shall pass. The taxi problems we're having, that too shall pass. Look at what's happened in Gauteng and in Natal, how it's brought people together. To me, that has been fantastic. It doesn't matter what race, what creed, what color, the guys got together and supported us. Because really, that's who we are. We're tough people, South Africans.
South Africans.
There we go. South Africans, very proud. Very proud to be a South African.
So I think South Africans are resilient.
Very.
They're amazing people, and we come together, whether it's sports, my hockey stick's fallen down.
Yep.
Sports brings South Africans together. 95 Rugby World Cup here in South Africa.
Well, I can remember that day, you and I watching the final and walking back home to Rondebosch, and all these benches like you have outside here were all in the road. Cars couldn't drive. Everybody was partying. Everybody was happy. And again, it didn't matter as long as you were South Africa. I remember watching the 2007 World Cup. I was playing golf at Fancourt, and there 300 of us in a hall, all shouting for South Africa, so proud to be South Africans.
And then once again, 2019, we were here at Province Cricket Club watching us win the final against England, and PP and Colby scoring tries, and this place erupted, and everyone just came together again. And now it's the Olympics, so hopefully the Olympics doesn't just bring South Africans together, it brings the world together. And hopefully with that energy and that faith and that belief in humanity sparks something for the rest of the world.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. You know, I'm very much the South African and very proud wherever we've had the opportunity of traveling. And people always ask the strangest of questions. And I mean, I thought that was nonsense when people ask about you to have the lions in the streets. And we used to tell them, the one friend and I, that we were actually crocodile farmers and how we survived in young weeks to attack the crocodiles, that they never attacked us, and they were absolutely fascinated. But that's another metaphor for life. There's a crocodile out there now, he just has a name. Okay? And his name is Corona. And we will fight Corona. We will get through it. It's good, but we need the people to be together, to listen, to help. When I've coached, it's what I've always said, guys, we're a team. I can't have one individual doing what he wants to do. We can't have people ignoring what we as South Africans should do. The people must get thoughts out of their head. The grass is always greener on the other side. There's a reason for it, but I wouldn't like to say why it's public, why it's that much greener. Okay, but they have all their problems. There's nowhere that they're going to go to that there aren't problems. It's just the way you adapt to whatever the situation is. And that's the hope I give to anybody that I speak to, any young person. Would I leave this country? No. Would I have left here if I was your age? No. Would I leave? What about my grandchildren are all here? I'm not telling them that they must leave. It's fantastic.
So there we have it, another episode of Coffee with Craig. This time we got to listen to someone that's lived a lot of life. 70 years old, experienced a lot of South Africa, the good, the bad, and absolutely everything. He shared his message with you of what you need to do, that you need to make sure that you've got hope for yourself, for your family, for the future, for South Africa, and out of any kind of crisis comes a massive opportunity. So, if you've enjoyed this episode,
please subscribe to Coffee with Craig. If this is what you've enjoyed, with there many more to come.
there we go. Till next week, we're out of here.